Hey, welcome back to the Wildlife Podcast. We got a host in today's episode.
Hey, my name is Marnay. Welcome back to the Wildlife.
Yeah, we finna get started right now. Let's go to the number 10 video right now.
Tower on the beat.
Wake up with a frown on my face, pain in my head, hate in my heart. This how my day finna start. Bruises on my face, cuts on my neck. Thinking what's next, I get a knock at the door. You throw me on the floor, I'm a stupid bitch, a dirty little whore. Kicks in the rib and my body all sore. Blood out my mouth, leaving puddles on the floor. Screaming out like, oh, what I do to you now. You grab me by my hair, I'm a goofy clown. Abuse me physically, mentally I'm emotional. You spit in my face and I'm going all loco. I try to fight back, full blown attack. You punch me on my stomach, then you get a slap. How could you love me but you do me like that? How could you love me but you do me like that? I look in your eyes, all I see was hate. You think you playing God and determine my fate. Looking at the door, damn I gotta escape. Damn I'm finna die, yeah I gotta escape. Looking in your face, then you crack a smile. Where you think you're going? Please tell me how. All the doors is locked, bitch, you're gonna die now. All the doors is locked, bitch, you're gonna die now.
All right, that was the number 10 video. We got a special guest in the room today. You know, she's a 4-time international best-selling author, what I call a woman in power speaker, an entrepreneur, an AKA, shout out the Pink and Green, the owner of Robinson Anderson Publishing, the founder of Desire to Empower, last but not least, a mother of 3, Eydie Robinson. How you doing?
I'm great. Dang, that seems like a lot of stuff. What? Oh.
How you been doing? How you been doing around the coronavirus and stuff like that?
I just been trying to stay safe and COVID free.
Man,
Everybody.
they've been saying St. Louis and Texas been getting hit real hard, and Chicago.
Right. That's why I've been in the house.
That's because all these clubs and stuff opening back up.
Yeah,
I'll be right here at Club Eydie.
They in Dallas, the schools open out there, right?
Yeah, and the school district that my kids are in, they don't even have a virtual option, so they have to do in class.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I thought everybody was going virtual.
Nope.
Well, speaking of that, what you think about this Trump situation?
You know what? If you get me started on this, that's gonna be your whole show. They just need to get him on up out of here. He's just an embarrassment and a disgrace to this country. He should have been out a long time ago.
They said he got impeached for the second time today, right?
Yeah, he did. That was just the House. It still has to go to the Senate, and it's just a whole political thing because I guess they don't want to be the one. So they are trying, I heard today, to wait until Joe Biden gets in the office. That way it'll be like a 50-50 split, Democrat, Republican. So that way it doesn't come off as the Republicans in the Senate agreed to this. So it's just, this whole world is centered around politics.
Yeah, I ain't even know all that. I just know he was impeached.
Yeah. But the fact that you got impeached twice, like, that's the crazy thing about it. I just thought you could get impeached one time and you out of here.
Yeah.
Right, I know, right?
And he did it on his last year, so I don't know. And I know I seen a lot of those people running into the Capitol building, like people in wheelchairs and stuff.
If that was us,
Man,
would have been a whole different story.
it was been a lot of killing.
Right.
And a lot more police.
You know, ain't no people in wheelchairs running nowhere. Talk about the people in the wheelchairs running to them.
Yeah,
Right.
that was crazy. But let's get into your story, your background. Like, give us a description of where you from and like growing up and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Show me state, STL. I'm an only child. Well, I have step brothers, but born an only child. Oh Lord, my life. Okay, so my dad, he wasn't really around. I love my dad, don't get me wrong. He is the best dad ever, but he was in jail the majority of my life until I got older. And then my mom, she's now deceased. Love her to death
R.I.P.
as well, but she was doing her own thing while, into drugs and alcohol. So for the most part, I was raised by my grandmother.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, thinking that would be a better situation for me. And I know we'll probably get all into the details of that, but ultimately it wasn't. So
like growing up, like, did you feel that tension that your mom and dad wasn't around? You had to grow up with your grandma. Did you like yearn for them?
I did, because so there was some time that I spent with my mother, and we lived in California for a while. And when I tell y'all, like, this is no exaggeration, the way we were living, it was like Scarface, like no lie, for real. And then my mother's boyfriend at the time had gotten caught. Like, we had the feds following us and everything. So he went to jail. My mom almost went to jail, but she ended up beating the case or whatever. So at that time, it's like when I moved with my grandmother, when we moved back to St. Louis. And it's not like I didn't see my parents. My mom would come around. And the time, because my dad was in and out of jail. So the times that he was home, I did spend some time with him, but it just wasn't a good situation. But it was a thing like with my mother, which I know I suffer the effects of it from today. Today is she would tell me, okay, I'm coming to pick you up. And I have my little bags packed and everything, looking out the window like, okay, is she coming? Okay, it's been 2 hours now. Okay, I guess she's not coming. So like now I have a real serious issue with people telling me that they're going to do something and they don't do it. And it stems from that. So yeah, of course, a little girl, she wants to be with her mother. I mean, I love my grandmother to death, but nobody can ever replace your mother.
Exactly.
That is true.
And around what age then you start like coming alive? Like, you know what? Let me start doing me.
It was young, but to be honest with you, I used to be like real shy. I didn't really talk too much. I mean, I was popular and everything in school, but I was really shy. And I think what kind of really brought me out to where I am today, and you know me, I'm outspoken. Like, you say something to me, I'm coming back with something quick. Didn't happen until I got older, like in my 30s. Probably, I'm 43 right now. But I mean, as a child, I had gone through so much. Like I said, my parents, them not really being around. I was with my grandmother. Her husband, which was my step grandfather, was very abusive. So it was like that situation I was in, he did inappropriate things to me. So it was like that I was dealing with. And I was dealing with just so much stuff at a young age. When I was in 7th grade, I tried to commit suicide. I really don't talk on that too much now because I'm trying to get past it, but it did happen. Well, the attempt happened,
Right.
but thank God that it didn't happen because that wasn't my time. But yeah, it's like through that, I think just going through that, and then, you know, on my own, kind of suffering some of the things that I had gone through as a child, like not getting attention. I was making some very bad decisions when it came to just life in general, dealing with men. And I just finally came to a point where I was like, you know what, life got to be more than this. I'm tired of just, you know, doing whatever, not having a care in the world, don't care about the consequences, drinking and doing drugs and all this kind of stuff. I was like, it got to be more to life than this. And
So
that's
I want to touch back on what you said with the I don't know if you applied to being touched or the suicide or something like that. I want to touch on that a little more.
okay.
I don't know how deep you want to get to it because it's a lot of females that's going through it growing up, and some people stick to drugs or drink more, smoke a lot of weed, or just want to have sex, I guess. So, but before we get into that, let's go to the number 9 video.
One, two, buckle my shoe. 3, 4.
On the west side of the loop.
Wait, what is that?
I'm gonna be a rapper when I grow up.
20 years later.
In the 90s, back when real killers kept their business in private. They knew how to aim and it wasn't no hiding. Ay, I'm west side for life, might just get that thing tapped. Tee off if you peed off, knock lil' bro out his sliding. You can knock him out, just don't push back his lining. Can't believe all the hate, man, they think they behind us. Ay, yo, come and get this money, listen, here are some options. You can go to school, do some adding and minus. You can sell drugs, be a gangster or rider. Now the block is hot and the pressure is rising. Every time you out the crib, here come the out right behind you. I rock jeans and my nights, waking up when I like. Pushing chairs all day, twisting her all night. Pull up to the spot and you get what you like. Since 15 been getting money, this her hustle is life. Mr. Hood, where I'm from, growing up was alright. Once you get past the bugs and the rats and the mice. Had my brothers, had my cousins, and we all had our bites. Go down blacks on right on Julian and you bucking the right. 1, 2 on the west side of the loop. 3, 4, 12, 14 on the door. 5, 6, shout out to Louise Kid. 7, 8, 10,000 ways to make a cake. 9, 10, you won't believe where I've been. Lord, you saved me from my sins. Lord, you saved me from my sins. Lord, you saved me from my sins. You used to get a pack of gun for free. Used to buy a bag of chips for cheap. I'm more head all the tasty.
All right, that was the number 9 video, and we was basically having you go back on and touch on those 2 parts of your story.
Yeah, so just going back to the suicide attempt, right? Okay, so yeah, it was just a lot going through that situation because first of all, it was my grandmother's husband, which was my step grandfather. And I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it because, you're always taught that you need to tell someone. But even as a child, of course, he did threaten, like, you better not tell anybody else or it's going to be consequences. But then it's still like, it's kind of like an embarrassing thing, even though it's not your fault. Still, I remember like that's how I felt during that time. And of course, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want him to do anything to my grandmother because, like I said, he was very abusive, like very abusive to the point to where I've seen him point a gun at my grandmother's head. But yeah, I was just going through so much. And then I think what really drove me to that point is when I told my grandmother, well, actually, let me rewind. when I was in school, I was just going through that so much. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in band class and I just started bawling. And my friends, they were like, what is going on? And I was like, I had told them what was happening. So then I went to the counselor's office and told the counselor. So when I got home, they had somebody, I don't know, they called the people. I don't know what it's called, what department it was. But when my grandmother got home, me and the lady was sitting outside on the porch talking. And I mean, you can imagine, I'm in 7th grade. My grandmother comes home and it's this adult out there that I'm talking to. And she's like, well, what's going on? So then the lady left and I went and told her and she didn't believe me. She was like, no, my grandmother.
And that like really hurted you, like
it did hurt me.
Yeah.
And what really made it so bad is that she said something to him. So of course, he was mad at me, took it out on her. Like the whole house dynamic was just a mess.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, it's not even no point in me being here because I'm having to go through this, see her going through her stuff, and then she don't even believe me, even when I try to tell her the truth. So what's the point? And then at that time, I couldn't even really talk to my mom because she was out doing her own thing. But yeah.
I feel like when you have kids and you start to raise your kids, I feel like it's very important to make your kids feel comfortable. Like, so in that case, you have to nurture them, like make them feel comfortable and make it okay for your kids to open up to you without judgment, without them feeling like, oh, well, you're getting a whooping or, scolding them for anything. It's just about, the affection that you show your kids that makes them want to tell you.
Right.
Or it won't be like a scary thing.
Right. I didn't have that. I didn't talk to her. Like my grandmother, she was old. I didn't really talk to her about nothing. But with my kids now, and my son, he will come and talk to me about anything. But like you said, I try to let them know early, as well as with that, if someone is touching you inappropriately, we had in-depth conversations. I don't care what they tell you, what threat they tell you, you tell me. But like I said, I am really open with my kids and they know that they can come and talk to me about anything.
Yeah, but that's good because I mean, you're breaking the cycle because you didn't get that as a kid. You had kids and be like, okay, well, I didn't do this. I'm going to do it the right way. And I'm going to love on my kids this type of way. And I'm going to tell them this, and the third. So, I mean, it's breaking the cycle.
Yeah. So so you left your grandma's house after that, around that time, and then what did you do from there?
No, can you now look? I was still with her, but then, but she finally left him. She did leave him, and her and I got our own place. But it's like, not to say that this is an excuse or to give her an excuse, but I think women in those days feel like they have to have a man, regardless of if they cheating, if they doing stuff like that. And I think that was part of the reason why she did stay, for the length of time that she did through the abuse. And then when I initially told her, but yeah, I had held that in for a while. And then finally, my aunt came home to visit and we had got on a conversation about something. And I finally just told my grandmother the way that I felt. I was like, I have a lot of resentment against you. And she was like, why? And I was like, okay, you don't remember what happened? And when I told you, you basically told me that you didn't believe me. And she apologized. And at that point, our relationship changed drastically. But I mean, all that time, I'm thinking like, this is your only granddaughter. My mother only has a sister. She does not have any kids. So your only grandchild coming to you, telling you what this man is doing, and basically you choose him over me.
Exactly. So with that, with what you've been through and stuff, that like makes you time into your kids a lot more and make sure like, no, like can't go spend the night over there and ask more questions.
I don't care if it's family. No.
Yeah.
No, it's only a limited amount of people whose house they can spend a night. And even there were some times like they would want to go spend a night over my dad's house. No, because his wife has sons and I ain't you can't put nothing past nobody.
Yeah, that's understandable, just especially because you know what can happen, and it's not even about fear. It's just like you don't want them to bury like the same thing you got going on in the inside of you. So you try to keep them away from that, and that's understandable. I don't feel like nobody should feel some type of way about it, especially if they never been through it. So yeah.
Yep.
So from there, you did you complete high school with your grandmother?
I completed high school. I was always good in school. Very smart. I completed high school. I had a full scholarship to Mizzou. So I went to Mizzou for 1 year, but this is the thing though. So, okay, I had a full scholarship, but I told y'all, like I was living with my grandmother and my grandmother was kind of strict. So I wasn't really doing all the stuff that my friends were doing. I was sneaking out. Now, don't get me wrong, but I didn't have as much freedom as they did. So when I got to college, it was turn up. So I was turning up, turning down on the grades. So, yeah, my focus wasn't there. So I had to come home. So I came home. I went to community college for a little bit. Then I went to Harris Stowe. And I end up getting pregnant with my son, which is my oldest child. And then I kind of took off school for a little bit to raise him. And then I finally end up going back to University of Phoenix and graduating with my bachelor's.
That's good.
And when you your son's father, how was that relationship?
I mean, we were young. It wasn't a bad relationship.
It was like college sweethearts or something like that?
No, not really. I met him, what was that place we used to go to? I think it was Skate King.
Oh, yeah.
I met him at Skate King, but then to find out he was actually one of my cousin's cousins. We weren't related, but my cousin's mother and his father are sister and brother. So we kind of had that there too. And I mean, we had a pretty good relationship. I think we moved in together too young or too early, but it just, we weren't mature.
Yeah, just y'all was still trying to find who y'all was as a person.
Yeah. And I mean, we've never had any bad blood against each other. We are still cool to this day. It was just
work out.
Right. We just weren't mature enough.
So, all right, now you had your son. Now, what's the step from there?
So I had my son, and I was like, you know what? I ain't having no more kids. But then I met my daughter's father. And my kids are very spaced apart, and there's a reason behind that, because it's like after each one, I was like, I'm not doing this again. So then I met my daughter, Michaela, which is my middle child, her father, and that situation, boy, I tell you, when I look back at this stuff, I was like, I was something else. So I'm just giving it all to y'all. So at this point, I had gotten my own apartment, and this dude was living upstairs with his girlfriend, which is Michaela's father. And, you know, we would see each other, you know, kind of catch each other. And I was like, one day I would walk past, and what was in my mind came out verbally. I was like, he fine. And he was like, what? I was like, oh, nothing. So him and his girlfriend was going through issues. So long story short, it would be sometimes where he would come down after they had got into it. And then they end up breaking up, and we end up getting together. So he has other children, but my middle child and the girlfriend's child is 6 months apart.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How long before we go any further? Let's go to the let's go to the number 8 video. We'll be right back.
I'm trying to send a bitch
I'm so demanding, but I'm still advancing. Only got time for one thing, and it's understanding. Lock tucked under my shirt, yeah, it's super handy. Bitch, you suck dicks for a perch, you was super nasty. I am super classy, I am super sassy. Tell your nigga cash me, cash at me, smack me, at me. Yeah, Trapstar Jolene, bitch. I ain't got no chill, I'm tryna send a bitch to Winfield. Had to show the pussy, bitch, I been it. That bitch, I'm spinning. I ain't got no chill, I'm tryna send a bitch to Winfield. Had to show the pussy, bitch, I been it. That bitch, I'm spinning. I ain't got no chill, I'm tryna send a bitch to Winfield. Had to show the pussy, bitch, I been it. That bitch, I'm spinning. I ain't got no chill, I'm tryna send a bitch to Winfield. Had to show the pussy, bitch, I been it. That bitch, I'm spinning.
All right, that was the number 8 video. So you said 6 months apart, right?
Yes.
Let's get to it.
Okay, so yeah, so like I said, they end up breaking up. We got together. She was pregnant. I was pregnant at the same time. But the thing is that
did she know?
she didn't know. She knew I was pregnant because we lived right. She lived upstairs from me. So like I would see her and we would speak, but she had no idea.
Dang.
But then, like I said, they end up like officially breaking up and going their separate ways. He moved, she moved. I was still living in that same apartment complex, but they had moved apart from each other. And then after a while, him and I had kind of lost contact, and then he ended up coming back and we moved in together. So
And then you had your last child?
yeah, we got married. And then I had my last child. But see, the thing is that I try to tell women all the time, the way you get them is probably the way you're going to lose them. Because when we got together, and I, to be honest, I knew before we got married, and that's the thing that I want to tell women too. You cannot change a man unless he wants to change. And my thing was that, okay, well, you know, when we get married, he probably not going to be doing all the stuff that he, you know, he's been doing. It didn't change.
Please say that again. Please say that again,
cannot
because I
change
talk to a
a
lot
man.
of women and they be thinking that happened.
No,
And it's just not even with men. You can't change nobody.
A person, period.
Unless they
Yeah.
want to change.
right. A ring, a marriage certificate, ain't none of that.
It don't change nothing. Nothing at all.
It just
It
put a
was
And that
title
goes
on it.
both ways. That goes both ways for women too. You know, if a man is with a woman and she's doing certain things, don't think just because y'all getting married that it's gonna change until she's or you know or he is ready to change.
Exactly.
And that was my mistake there. But I think just wanting to have that connection and you know to actually say that I'm a wife is something that I strive for. So I just dealt with it. And we were married for 6 years. And he cheated. I caught him cheating on several occasions, but he was so disrespectful with it. I think what just broke it all at that point is when I found out, because he used to coach football, that he was cheating with one of the football mothers. And I found out about it. And at this time I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. So yeah, I was ready to beat her up, pregnant and all. And I was like, you know what, this is too much. So I had my daughter, we were still together, just trying to work it out, like, okay, well, maybe we can get past this. Got caught again. Then to top it off, he ended up getting another woman pregnant while we were married, and that was it.
So that was like the last straw that like really woke you up.
But it's like, I'm not even gonna sit up here and lie. At that point, like when a woman is fed up, and I'm not saying that I was right at all, because I wasn't. I started doing my own little thing on the side too. And that's probably where we're gonna get to the little next part, talking about the whole domestic violence situation. Because after me and my husband split up, I was with this dude. We went to high school together. So I had thought that I knew him, but the person that I knew in high school was not the person that I was with at that time. And I ended up finding out about that the hard way. But in high school, you know, he was popular, played, I think he ran track. So he was like an athlete and all of this, but he was a bum, to say the least. But I think what it was is that I was like vulnerable during that time. He was giving me attention that I wasn't getting with my husband. So I was like, okay, well, I've been knowing him, so might as well try it out. I am not doing nothing else. Have something to occupy my time.
So with that, your husband, he was cheating and stuff like that. So you like, you know what, he let me get out here and you found somebody that giving you all the attention, is doing everything that you want your husband to do. And
Right.
it's like, what did you feel like it was like a game he was playing on you, or he was actually being genuine?
When I look back, I think he was running game on me, to be honest with you. And see, I didn't find out a lot of this stuff until later on, but he knew my husband.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. And I think he probably had some ill feelings against him because they were on like different sides of the neighborhood, and my ex-husband was like well known in the streets, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I didn't find all of that out until later, but when him and I had started talking, it was like me and my husband, we pretty much were separated. We were still in the same house, but it was like we was more roommates than anything.
So what did y'all, after the relationship y'all had, end up getting a divorce?
Yeah,
and
we separated.
You said the mess, you found out about domestic violence. Like, what was
So the first thing, so by this time I was still living in the house. My husband had moved out. We were separated, but as you know, a divorce takes time. So we were going through divorce proceedings or whatever. And me and this guy were seeing each other. And I think we had went to a party or something together. I can't remember exactly what event it was, but when he would start drinking, I found out he would just kind of like turn into a totally different person. So I remember he just like flipped the script on me. I was driving him home. Like I said, he was a bum. He didn't even have no car. So I was driving him home, and like I said, he just all of a sudden just started going off. I'm telling you, I felt like he was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because when I tell you, he just switched. We were having a normal conversation, and then all of a sudden he just started like going off, and I'm like, what? I'm in shock. Like, what is happening right now? So we pull up to the house. He told me to get out the car. So he like all up in my face, pointing, everything, going off. I mean, just saying all this stuff. And I'm still in shock. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know what's about to happen. He hit me.
Oh, wow.
And when that happened, I'm telling you, if this wasn't God, I mean, God showed up. A police officer came down the street, and I guess he saw us out there, and he stopped. And at this point, I was scared. I'm like, I just want to get the hell up out of here so I can go home. So the police officer, he was like, is everything okay? And you know, of course, he looking at me like, you better not say nothing. And I'm like, yes, officer. And he was like, okay, well, go ahead and get in your car and go home. Boy, when I tell y'all I got in that car, so drove off. But the thing is, even after that, and I don't know what it was at that time, because even after that, I guess he was like still drinking. The next day he called threatening me, like, I'm coming to your house, I'm gonna do this and that to you. And I was scared as hell. But like I said, even still after that, he would come back and apologize and say, I'm sorry, you know, I didn't mean it. This and that and the other, and I forgave him. And that happened a couple of times. And with him, it was kind of more, we didn't have that many physical interactions, but it was like a threatening situation. Like he would come to my house and not leave in the middle of the night, banging on the door. I'm calling the police, going to file a restraining order. But then, like I said, he would come back and apologize. I felt sorry for him just knowing his history, because he was severely abused as a child. Like even when we were in high school, his father was very abusive. Well, I was like, it's just, you know.
So I know a lot of women say they will never be in an abusive relationship. They won't do this. They won't do that. Explain to the people, well, the women, like what made you stay and, you know, to build it up. Because I understand you saying that his past, that's a part of it that made you stay. And just elaborate on that for women that think that they can't do that, can't be in a situation like that, and the women that is in that situation.
I thought I couldn't be in a situation like that, to be honest with you, especially seeing what my grandmother had gone through, and then some instances like with my mom and her boyfriends, what she had gone through. And here I found myself in that same situation. And I think what it was a number of things. First of all, I didn't recognize the signs. The signs,
I was just ready to say that.
I tell you, the signs were there like a red light flashing, and I just ignored it. And I think, like I said, because I was vulnerable, I was lonely at that time. So I was just thinking like some of the things he would do. If I would say I'm going to one of my friend's house, he would call and call and call. Why you still over there? And I used to be like thinking, oh, he
love you.
Right. He loved me. He want to see me and this and that and the other. And it was just that was the main thing. But like I said, I think it was a combination of being scared, to be honest with you, because when I tell you this man, the threats, I mean, he threatened to go to my grandparents' house. It was a combination of the threats. It was a combination of me feeling sorry for him. And once again, thinking that he can change. He probably a change. It's just because he going through a lot and he's drinking.
It's like you start making excuses for him.
Making excuses. But I think, to be honest with you, the real thing for me was just, I was scared as hell. Like I talk about this to this day. I think he, not only the drinking, I seriously feel like this man has a mental illness, because when you fake your own death, which had me and his whole family worried. And this was on multiple occasions. So there was one time where he acted as if he was committing suicide.
He had a lot of time on his hands.
I don't know what the hell, some hot sauce or some ketchup or something. So I'm coming over there running. And I think what it was, probably he took my kindness for weakness, because you know me, I'm a very caring person. And I think he used that against me, knowing that I don't want to see anybody hurt. So he always knew that if he came with the apologies, and it was always him doing something or acting as if he was doing something to himself to make me come back. And that's how he knew he had me.
So he was playing victim each and every time. So it was like a mind manipulation thing.
It was.
Yeah. And that's why I be trying to tell people, love will make you do some crazy things. But sometimes it don't even be real love. I feel like that people like that's manipulative know that you're a good person. So they want to use you, but don't want nobody else to have you, because they gonna feel like, oh, but that's mine. That like she gonna be good to me. Right. I know it. I know she's a good person. I don't want nobody else to have it, and that's not right.
That's exactly what it was. that combination, like I said, the drinking, and I seriously feel like he has some mental issues.
Yeah, and that probably stem from his childhood. And I tell people that too, like dating men is always, you can always tell a type of man that you're dealing with by the way that they react to their parents. Such as a mama's boy. If you have a son that was raised by a single woman, you know, they know how a woman treats them, so they like it. So when they get a wife or something like that, they want them to be real nurturing and loving and clingy because, you know, they was raised with their mama. And if you get a man that was raised with their daddy, it's always, oh, I can't cry. I'm a real nigga. Real niggas don't cry. I'm too hard body. I'm gonna jump outside. Like,
yeah, just want to be talking to different women all the time and stuff like that.
You can always tell what type of man you're dealing with. And like she said, with them red flags, that is real. Like, most people don't pay attention because something that happened and you will laugh it off and be like, oh, he crazy, he played too much. And then you keep laughing it off, and then next thing you know, it's getting serious. And it's like, oh no, you just playing crazy for real. Like, those were never jokes. I laughed it off to made it seem like a joke, but it was, no, you're serious, you're crazy.
So we're gonna
sometimes you can't.
We're gonna see how you got up out of that situation after we go to the number 7 video.
I'm like, fuck it. Standing on the couch while drinks is coming. All for one, ain't no discussion. I'm like, fuck it. Move this one, don't do no bluffing. Get that call, you know who coming. I'm like, fuck it. Standing on the couch while drinks is coming. All for one, ain't no discussion. I'm like, fuck it. Move this one, don't do no bluffing. Get that call, you know who coming. No red lights, and then humming.
I'm like, fuck it. Bottles coming, smoking, threats, my bitches thumping, walking, dick can't do no ducking, jigging, Jen, we in her thug. She popped the exit, got her up and shaking, ass ain't worried about nothing. Throw it back, keep making it jumping, bitches mad, keep looking and mugging. Niggas mad, can't keep up, and I wish they spaz, cause big bro told me he keep it close, might get to blowing, stick together, them niggas ain't tough, man. Cause I ain't worried about no bitch, I never needed a fucking clique, just me and my brothers in this bitch, don't move stupid, play smart when you win this shit,
I'm like, fuck it. Standing on the couch while drinks is coming. All for one, ain't no discussion. I'm like, fuck it. Move this one, don't do no bluffing. Get that call, you know who coming. I'm like, fuck it. Standing on the couch while drinks is coming. All for one, ain't no discussion. I'm like, fuck it. Move this one, don't do no bluffing. Get that call, you know who coming.
Justo, it ain't been the same since you died. Uncle got life, it been gone for a dime. This shit is out, it got 6 different kinds. Everyday post on the phone with the guys. This on the net, I won't even respond. Pull up on this set and bounce out with that iron. Bigger me and Peter, shoot 2 at a time. Shoot up his crib cause he won't come outside. I'm in something that the law won't get behind. 392, boy, I swear to be slide. Hit the 10 shot, finna slap the bitch 5. Cause at the wood, hit the gas and it glide. Goofy before the lag, Goofy got hit in this shit. The lag, Goofy got 6 to the side. He tried to run, it got hit in his spine. I ain't gonna talk, I'ma send you the guy.
All right, that was the number 7 video, and we was talking about like how did you pick to leave, and like how did you do it?
Once again, I got to a point where I was just tired. I got tired of going down to the court, doing these doggone restraining orders, and it got so bad that last time the police, he told me, look, if you keep calling us and you don't follow through with going to court for these restraining orders, we gonna take, he said this straight to me, we gonna take your ass to jail. And I was like, okay. But the tipping point for me was, I remember, this was one of the many times that I told him that I was done. I'm not doing this no more. It's over. And I knew something was wrong because when I sent him that text message, I didn't hear nothing from him. And I was like, something ain't right about this. Because normally, I mean, this dude was so bad, he would call and harass me at my job. Yeah, and that was the thing I'm seeing. Like, now you messing with my money. I play about a lot of things, but I don't play about my money. But this time, right, that last time I didn't get a response back. I didn't get no going off phone, nothing like that. So I was like, okay, well, maybe finally he, finally get the point and see that I'm really done with this. Because let me just put this in there too, because y'all got to know about this. This how you know this man was something was wrong with him mentally. One of the other times that I told him that things were over with, he knew what church I went to. Do you know this man came to church and basically sat in the pew and looked at me the whole time like, I'm gonna get your ass when you leave here. Dang. So it was like so many events that led up, but the last thing, just going back to that, like I said, had sent that message, didn't get a response back. I was on my way home and I just had an unsettling feeling. I was like, something is not right. I don't know what it was. So I remember driving down my street and something told me to keep going. And the neighborhood that I lived in Bellefound Neighbors, it was like a police station. Probably it was no more than maybe 5 minutes away. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let me go to this police station and just have them escort me home or follow me home. So I remember I got there, I sat in the parking lot and I was like, okay, so what am I going to say when I go in here and tell these police, like, they're going to be like, okay, so I was like, you know what, maybe I'm just tripping. Let me just go home. So I pull up. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't pull up into my garage at that time, but I pull up in the driveway, get out the car. From the side of the house, this man was on the side of my house waiting on me. I don't know how long he had been there. My kids were in the house, so I opened the door. I had an SUV at this time. Open the door. I seen him run from the side of the house. I'm screaming, help, help. And when I just like, where is everybody? I'm screaming, ain't nobody coming outside the house. So I'm basically like, I'm trying to pull the door closed. He on this side pulling it. I mean, we were both pulling so hard where like the door was starting to come apart, like the little plastic side. It was apart. And I'm just trying my best. And then finally I lost my strength and he opened the door. And at this point, when I tell you my life flashed before my eyes, I was like, this is it. I'm about to die right now. Because I figure if this man, no telling how long he was on the side of my house, your plan was to do something to me today. So open the door and I'm out of breath at this time. At this point, all my strength is gone. I can't even scream no more. And he was like, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm not going to do nothing. Don't be scared. I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you. I didn't know what was happening. So I was just, whatever he asked me to do, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So we go sit on the porch. And of course he came with the whole sad story, but the difference this time was while he was saying all this in my head, I'm like, I'm done. Like, it's nothing that you can say to me at this point. But the thing is, I did let him spend a night because in my mind, I knew that it was over regardless. So he spent the night, nothing happened or anything like that. He left. And then I was like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Now, when all of this stuff was going on, I worked at University of Phoenix at the time, and the location that I was working at was closing. So they said, you have an opportunity to go to these different locations or whatever. And this was like, honestly, my out. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm getting up out of here because this may be the only way that I won't have to deal with him anymore. Mm-hmm. So like within a month's time, I left St. Louis. And it was because of the opportunity, but luckily God provided me that opportunity, I feel like, to get away from him.
All right, that just gave me three questions. First, I would want to know, like, did the kids see any of this stuff when it was going on? Two, a lot of females don't get that chance to walk away.
Yeah, they don't.
And 3, God put a lot on you to see if you gonna leave or stay and stuff like that. So with you saying you done and putting your eggs in the baskets, moving to that way, he opened the door so you can finally get away. And it's like God do those things and to show you that that person not right for you. And a lot of females they start going back to that same cycle and see when wonder why they go down. So that was the 3 questions. I don't know if you want me to ask you again.
No, and that's the thing, and I'm gonna start with that. First of all, the whole guy thing, because there were plenty of times where I would pray, God, please take this man out of my life, take him out of my life. But what people don't realize is you have to take some steps too. You can't just expect God to be like, okay, boom, especially when he's showing you who this person really is, but you are still accepting it. So he was showing me all the bad things about this person over and over and over again. And I was praying, Lord, take this guy out of my life. But at the same time, I'm still accepting the things that you're doing, knowing that it's wrong.
He was showing you the sign the whole time.
The whole time while I'm praying, Lord, take him away. But you were trying to show me the way to get him out of my life, but I'm constantly pulling back in. But I think, like I said, when I finally came to that point where my mindset changed and I was truly done, like once you make up your mind on something, most of the time, that's it. When you have it set in your mind and know that you are going another direction, it's nothing that no one can say or do at that point. So I think that's what it was when God saw that I was really done and not, accepting the apologies and the okie doke. He was like, okay, here you go. Now going back to the kids, my kids, they did see a lot of this stuff.
So they did.
Yeah, which was not good. Like, especially the times where he would come in the middle of the night, knocking on the door, like waking up the whole household. And I felt bad about that. So after we moved from there and, we were here and settled in Dallas, I sat my kids down and apologized to them. Specifically, my son. I sat him down first and told him, I'm sorry that you had to see me experience those things. I'm sorry that, because I felt at that time I wasn't a good mother, because if I would, I wouldn't put y'all in that situation. So yeah, I sat down and had a real talk with him first, and my son cried. Now, my son is very unemotional. Like, he typically, you will not see any emotions from him. So when I saw them tears coming down his eyes, I was like, okay, that lets me know that I did the right thing. And that he probably did suffer from that. But yeah, I sat them down and told them, and I tell my girls all the time, like, I want y'all to be better than me. Even now, some of the things that you seen me, go through with men, and some of the things that I accepted is not right. And I don't want you to be in that same situation. So I try to tell them the things, to look for and to not do when, things to accept from a man and not to accept from a man. So they know, because I would hate for them to be in that same situation.
It's kind of like a blessing and a curse. Because the blessing is your son would know, like, never to treat anybody like this. Like, that's not how you're supposed to treat a woman, your lady, a person that you love. That's not what you do. Your daughter, they know, oh yeah, no, I can't get talked to like that. I can't get treated like that. You're gonna have to come with something better.
Right.
That's why I said it's a blessing and a curse, especially for your daughters.
Yeah, cause me having a daughter on the way, and I have a daughter now, it's like you gotta like tell them, like show them like what signs to stay away from, cause you don't want them to I wouldn't say like I'm a bad person, but find somebody like how I was when I was younger, like because I didn't have no regards. I was doing things and stuff like that, so I don't want them to go through anything with heartbreaks, even though you're gonna have to go through that to learn who you are. But it's like so much stuff, and you see the rap videos, all the rappers, like everyday society is like, it's just like, what can you teach them that TikTok and YouTube and Facebook ain't trying to teach them, like just to take them away. So with that, and with your son, he cried. He was probably balling those emotions in and trying to be the man. And when you talk to him, he just broke down because it's like he understand, and he was so hurt. He was probably hurt that he couldn't do nothing for you. You know, and that hurt too, to see your mother go through something and you can't do nothing. It's like you too weak to do it. So it's a lot.
And now things like that affect kids, especially like in school. You know, like being if that was your son, you know, he go to school and start acting a totally different way, get to bullying kids and all type of stuff. Or he is shut down every time somebody talks to him. Like kids react differently. Some of them act out and some of them shut down.
Right. And that's why I'm so grateful. Like my son's father has always been in his life. And I think that has made a difference as well, him having that male in his life, you know, all growing up. Because I think if not, he might have turned out different. I don't know, but I think that helped with his dad being in his life. But I have made some bad decisions when it comes to men.
Yeah, but it's life though.
I mean,
you gotta
everybody.
figure it out yourself.
Right. That's why I said that's everybody, because I'm still young and I'll be over it. I look back and be like, why would I even me entertain that? Like, why?
No.
I be thinking to myself, like, I just needed something to do. I was bored. I had to, because I don't even, like, you just look back and be like, why? Just why?
Yeah,
but every relationship is a life learning lesson. That's how I look at it. So,
because all my friends now, they'd be like, when you were with him, I was just like, he just don't seems like Eydie's type. Why is she with him? But of course, they didn't want to say nothing. I was like, yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't even know.
Love is blind. Love is blind. We finna get into when you take the job to Dallas, right?
Yeah.
It was Dallas, right?
Right.
Okay. We're gonna get back to that. Let's go to the number 6 video.
What up? I'm here with FTY Studios. Mr. Thanksgiving, holla at me. LTY, nigga, word for word. Big shit, big ice.
Let's go. Teddy folks, stop playing with me, man. Big AR, Bitches, these niggas coming like bitches. Niggas on my dick, give me hickeys. I don't fuck with these niggas like 50. I done be down the block, I did it. They say you the goat, no Billy. I leave niggas thinking no witness. Plug safe in the flood the city. I been high off the drink, been sipping. I said I'ma stop, but I didn't. I crop a nigga out, no picture. Fuck the friend, then fuck on the sister. I ain't fighting, I beat her with the pistol. Rockin' these bitch head and you kissed her. If I was you, I hate me too. Don't try, we'll shoot off the roof. Chopper sound like doodle-doo. She say that she gang, so go with your move. I beat a bitch up, I don't need no tool. I stand on my own, don't need no crew. With the gang, with the way these bitches gon' choose. All my bitches steppin', coming like the troops. On God. Bitches, these niggas coming like bitches. Niggas on my dick, give me hickeys. I don't fuck with these niggas like 50. I done beat down the block, I did it. They say you the go, no Billy. I leave niggas thinking no witness. Plus safe in the flood the city.
All right, that was the number 6 video. We was talking about the move to Dallas to get you out of that relationship. So basically, did he have any other interaction with you or anything, or it was just a whole total fresh start?
Not really. He kind of changed, I think, because
you know what, we missed a big key. Because did you get a divorce after this? Or?
Oh yeah, I got a divorce. The divorce, it took like almost a year to get finalized, but yeah, I got a divorce.
So before you move or around the same
Yeah,
time?
before I moved.
Okay. I don't think we covered that. So
Yeah.
you said it was a fresh start when moving to Dallas, and you said he tried to change.
Yeah, I think like I said, he knew probably just by the way that I was speaking and everything, like I was done. So he kind of gave up at that point. But even when I moved to Dallas, he found a way to get in contact with me, even though I thought I had blocked him from everything, and he was giving threats from St. Louis all the way to Dallas that he gonna come to Dallas and do this and that. Yeah, went on Facebook.
Sir, you don't even know where I am.
Went on Facebook, calling me all kind of bitches and all kind of stuff. But like I said, it was just when he would get drunk or drink, that's when most of the things would start. But at this point, I'm like, I'm in a whole nother state. Boy, bye.
Yeah, the fur just left.
Right.
He don't have to knock on 100,000 doors to find me. Look, do what you do.
So what was your journey from there, from Dallas? Like what was your steps
Lord.
from there?
It just, man, I tell you, God must really know that I'm a strong woman, because the struggles did not stop. So I get here, like I said, I had a house. I basically had like a month to get everything together and move here. So during that time before I actually moved, you know, I tried to come down here a couple of times to find a place, couldn't find a place. So finally I was like, I'm just gonna have to go with what I find online. Found this place online, you know, the pictures, I was like, this is a nice spot. I'm just go ahead and go with this, put this deposit down, because I have to start this job by a certain time. Y'all, when I got here, Lord Jesus, me and my 3 kids, I get here, I pull up to the place. First of all, it wasn't ready. I stayed at a hotel that night. I had all my stuff in my car, and then I had the stuff transported, you know, like in those pods or whatever. People came and dropped off the pod in the driveway. I go in this house. When I tell you, the house was disgusting. When I walked in there, I know that the guy knew that I felt a certain kind of way, because I walked in that door and I just looked and I was like, you got to be kidding me. The previous people that left or that lived there, they didn't do no cleaning or nothing before they left. And they was some trifling people, because when I tell you it was trifling, so I'm like, okay, Lord, here we go again, another obstacle. Get over. So I'm like,
they had to be some Mexicans, because they be trifling.
They were some Indians.
You see, you knew they were born.
So my aunt came down here to help me, you know, get settled and everything. So I moved in. I mean, I had no choice. I had paid the deposit and everything, and I had to start work. I got here on a Friday. I had to start work on Monday. So for that whole weekend, I just cleaned and was like, I'm gonna have to deal with it. So she left after the weekend, and I was depressed. Like, I would say for probably about 2 weeks, I would come home and clean. That's how bad it was. Like, I was cleaning every day, because that's just the type of person that I am. I like stuff neat and clean. But yeah, it was a decent place as far as the space and all of that. It's just the people had left it nasty. So I was there, and I kept hearing stuff. And I was talking to my aunt one day, and I was like, I keep hearing this stuff on the roof. I think it's some squirrels. And she was like, Eydie, squirrels don't be out at night. And I was like, so what is it? And she was like, you probably got mice. I was like, oh, hell to the no. When I tell y'all, I am like deathly fearful of rodents.
Look, I don't blame
I
you.
got to get up out of. I was like, I was like, well, I ain't seen nothing. So she came down to visit again. We went to Home Depot and got them things that you plug into the outlet. It's supposed to give off some sound. I think the place was infested because after a while, and like I said, God, he just be showing up in my life. This was like near the time my lease was ending. Mm-hmm. I remember me and the kids were in the kitchen and I seen something go across the floor and I was like, what the hell? When I tell you them things started coming up or coming out, like it was so bad that me and all my kids were sleeping in one room. Like I didn't want to go downstairs. Because like I tell you, I'm definitely scared. The first time I saw one, I called my daddy crying. I mean, I was literally having like an anxiety attack. I think I was crying, hysterical. The kids were just looking at me like, what is wrong with this woman? I called my daddy. I was like, Daddy, I just seen a mouse. He was like, okay, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm all the way in St. Louis. I said, well, what am I supposed to do? He was like, you're going to have to go and get some traps. I said, okay. I do that, but who gonna figure it out? When the thing is in the trap, what am I supposed to do then? He was like, you gonna have to throw it out. Oh, hell no. I was like,
that's where your son come in play. Because I'm gonna be like, I give you $5.
Right. My son he ain't want to do it. So I looked something up and seen that mothballs supposed to help. So I put some mothballs downstairs, but it was like, I was thinking that noise and stuff like that would deter them. So at night, we would leave a radio on downstairs. We would leave a radio on. It was like every time we went downstairs, we all went together as a group. I'd be like, y'all come over.
You have to make some noise and stuff.
We would go down the steps, banging on the walls, trying to make noise so they don't come out. So...
Yeah, hey, people that ever have mice, they know the struggle, man.
Right. I ain't never
clapping your hands and everything so they run away.
I've never dealt with this, like ever. I grew up middle class, always, been in nice houses for the most part. There was a time like when I was living with my mother when I was young, when we were in the city and just living the type of life that she lived, but like this. So it was coming close to my lease, and then I was like, I got to get up out of here. I don't care if I got to live in a hotel for a little while. So it was funny because they would have people come look at the house. I know they probably were pissed off at me. Then people would come up in there. I'd be like, y'all don't want to live here. I was like, the house got mice. That's pretty much how it was. Cause I'm like, I don't want nobody moving in here and they have to deal, experience the same thing that I experienced. So then finally, God again made a way right before it was time for my lease to end. I ended up finding an apartment to live in. But yeah, that was a bad experience. I was like,
did that man give you your deposit back?
I didn't even want no deposit back. I was like, I don't even care at this point. I just want to get up out of here.
He should have gave you your deposit back in the beginning when you opened the door and it was nasty. Because I'm gonna be like,
you should pay her deposit.
Right, for real. As nasty as that house was, but
I'm like, how did he not know? He didn't look at it before, or
but
like...
you know what? I think some of the laws here in Texas are different. Like people aren't really required to do that before a tenant moves in. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's some kind of clause or something that they have, but yeah. All
right, let's go to the number 5 video, and we're gonna be right back.
Money Every's making beats again. LC. I remember.
Hey yo, Pluto, you going brazen?
I remember. Why you had to go and take my nigga? Yeah, why you had to go and take my nigga? Yeah, I remember. The house with no lights, middle of December. Them long nights on that block, I still remember. Yeah, why you had to go and take my nigga? Yeah, I remember. to take him, he was just getting on the song. And I just went and seen your kids pick up your oldest son. Just how you really don't know, that's cause he only one. Mama told him daddy gone and he can't play with guns. If it was left up to me, I'd tell him keep a gun. Look what his uncle done, you was the chosen one. And if your sons ask about you, I know what to tell them. Your daddy went to heaven, your daddy got a legend. Your daddy was a stepper, he really stepped on shit. So quick to take a bitch, and he ain't fuck with these niggas, felt like they counterfeit. He was on some savage shit, never left without that bitch. Glock 19 extended clip. His own brother took his life, man, this shit ain't right. And ever since he been gone, it's hard to sleep at night. Gotta watch the ones that you keep close, yeah. That's why I keep a post. That's why you had to go and take my nigga. Yeah, I remember the house with no lights, middle of December. Them long nights on that block, I still remember. That's why you had to go and take my nigga. Yeah, I remember. In the house with no lights, middle of December.
All right, that was the number 5 video. So you left your house and left the deposit.
Yeah, I didn't care about the deposit. Kept that deposit. As long as I was able to get up out of there.
So what was your next step? You found another house or something like that?
Yeah, I ended up finding an apartment, which was kind of disappointing because me and my kids, like in St. Louis, we had a house. Then when we moved here to Texas, I was living in a townhouse. So it was still kind of like a house, but not really. And then to go to an apartment, that was a whole nother issue. But I mean, the apartment was spacious. It was centrally located, so I was good.
Yeah. So did you what steps did you take from there? Like you still was working at the same job, anything?
Yeah, so by that time, this was after a year of me being here in Dallas, I got laid off from my job.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't came all the way here for this job and then end up getting laid off. But they kind of had this thing where you could do, like you can voluntarily be laid off, basically. Which if you chose that and you were selected, you would get an extra amount in your severance package or whatever. So I was like, okay, I might as well, because I'm probably about 98% sure that I would be one of the ones let go anyway, because I had been with that school for so long and I was making a lot of money. And you know that most of the time when they do layoffs like that, they lay off the people who are making the most money because they can bring other people in and have them do the same job at a lower salary.
Price. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, you know, I can pretty much guarantee that I'm probably going to get laid off anyway. So I'll go ahead and volunteer, because an extra, you know, 8,000 to 10,000 severance on top of what I already would be getting, I probably wouldn't have to work for a little while. So I did end up getting selected, and I was off work for almost a year. And that gave me a lot of time, because in the midst of just kind of going back, in the midst of me going through that stuff in St. Louis and coming here, I had started a nonprofit organization called Desire to Empower. And what really prompted that is the events that had happened in my life. Actually, God gave it to me, for real. He woke me up in the middle of the night and gave me this name. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you want me to do with this. And as time went on, he started showing me what to do. So I had my nonprofit, and I was working on that. I had an event back in St. Louis, but was still also doing stuff here. So that time that I was off almost a year, it gave me the opportunity to really, you know, be able to mentor girls and women, do a lot of volunteering, because I volunteered for this shelter in Dallas called Dallas Life, and I was doing mentorship there and doing activities with the teenagers that were in the homeless shelter. So it just gave.
What made you wanna mentor for females and stuff like that? Just basically what you've been through or something like that?
Yeah, just basically the things that I had gone through, I wish I would have had a mentor or at least someone in my life to talk to me about certain things and steer me in the right direction. So I finally understood that that's why I went through a lot of the things that I had gone through, because it was for me to be able to help somebody else and to be able to openly talk about things to where girls or women, if they're going through those same things, they see like somebody that has actually gotten through it.
Somebody they can relate to.
Right, because it's totally different when you have someone coming and talk to you and they ain't been through nothing in life versus someone that you can really identify with. And that's why I wanted to do it, because people see me now. If they knew all the stuff that I have gone through in life, they'd be like, what? No, you didn't. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You don't always look like the struggle, baby.
Right.
Yeah, they just look at the face and like think they just gonna be just down.
Right.
So with you doing all that, did you have another relationship or anything?
Yeah, I did, but to be honest, like when I first moved here, I was like, I don't want to be in nobody's relationship. I'm good. I'm about to work on myself. I, was focused on getting my relationship right with God. But then I ended up being connected with a person that I had knew back in St. Louis, a younger guy. And he kind of swept me off of my feet. And I finally gave him a chance. And we were talking long distance for a while. And then he ended up moving here. I think I got bamboozled on that. I'm not even gonna lie. It was like, he was coming down here and visiting. The next thing I knew he was living with me. I'm like, okay, here we go again, probably with the bad decision making. But the relationship was definitely not like some of the other relationships that I had experienced. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give this little guy a chance. He was a good man.
Starting to grow on you.
Yeah. And things were good. I'm not even gonna lie. Like for someone that much younger than me to be open and coming in and take on, the responsibility of someone else's children, that's a lot for not only a man to do, but a young man at that. But there were some bumps in the road with that relationship as well.
Do you think with talking to a younger guy, did you like really like just like let's see where it goes and stuff like that? You really didn't give it a fair chance, like starting off, or did you just like, I'm just going ahead all in?
I think I had went all in, and I think it was because we had known each other before, and he had been trying to talk to me for years. Like when I was back in St. Louis, working at University of Phoenix, he came there trying to go to school. He was trying to talk to me then. And I think that was, me and my husband were separated at that time, and I hadn't messed with the other guy yet. But yeah, he, like I said, he swept me off my feet, and I was all in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and give him a chance.
Persistent.
He was persistent. I was like, dang, all these years, you still trying to get with me?
He was like, I guess. All right, come on.
So what you said bumps in the road, like where did it start getting bumpy at?
Oh, well, guys take a longer time to mature than girls, I truly believe. So some of the things that he was doing was just him being a young man, drinking, wanting to go out and stay out late and all that stuff. That caused a lot of problems. Especially the drinking thing was a trigger for me because of previous experience that I had been in. And then also like with my mother having issues with alcohol, that just wasn't sitting right with me. But once again, being the person that I am, giving a person 1,001 chances, I still gave him chances, even though we had some issues because of that.
Mm-hmm. So those like those conversations happen, like what your past and why you don't like that, stuff like that, and stuff didn't change anything.
No, it didn't, because I think he had his own issues with drinking too, and trying to probably pacify some of his own issues using drinking to not have to deal with those things.
Mm-hmm. So from there, did you when did you write your first book?
I wrote my first book. It was after him and I had, excuse me, gotten together, because I did actually even dedicate a portion of the book to him, like in the beginning, just thanking him for treating me like a woman should be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though he had his issues, like I said, with the drinking and just being a young man, he still was a good man. And I would never take that away from him, because he was good.
It's like he brought that wind back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, that's when I wrote my first book, which is titled Life Behind Closed Doors. And it's funny because I knew like the book was about me, but the way that I was trying to play it was because the book is broken up, like each chapter is about different events that happened in my life. But you know, I ain't really want everybody knowing everything or some of the things that I have gone through in my life. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna just, you know, have these different characters with these different names and stuff like that, and just tell people that, you know, these are some of the things that I may have experienced in my life, with them not knowing that everything, right, was really about things that I had been going through. So like once I got to the end of the book, I was praying. I was like, Lord, because it was still some portions of the book that was hard for me to write, especially dealing with that domestic violence situation that I couldn't finish. So I prayed on it, got past that, finished it, because there was still some unforgiveness in my heart for that. But I kept hearing God say, like, you got to tell people that this is truly your story. So at the very end of the book, the truth is portion, I let people know, like, this is all me. All these events that happened in these previous chapters are all things that happened in my life. And this is how you can heal from these things that you have experienced. And these are the signs that you can be aware of for certain things, because most of the issues that I had gone through dealt with men. And then some of the other issues stem from like the relationship with my mother.
And so you said you got 4 books, right? And that just what was the feedback that you got from the first one that made you want to write the second one?
Man, when I tell you, I had so many people reach out to me, like on social media. I had people DMing me, saying thank you for sharing my story. It's stuff that they had gone through, and they were glad to see that, you know, somebody else has experienced it. So the first book was good. Like I had a huge response, the first book. So then the second book was more like it wasn't really a book, it's an affirmation journal, because I'm real big on like affirmations, manifestation, you know, all things that's me. Positivity, I truly believe that you put in the universe, you get back. So that was that one. And then the other couple of books that I have are collaborations that I've done with other people. So one I again talk about, you know, how when you change your words, you can truly transform your life, because it does make a difference. What you speak will be. People don't realize that. And then mhm. And then the last one that I did is marriage and the afterlife. So in that one, I talk a lot about the marriage with my ex-husband, you know, going through the divorce, things that we had went through in that, and then just how those things can affect your kids, and some of the things that you need to do, you know, to get them through it. Because when you go through a divorce, it's not just the husband and the wife that are going through a divorce, the kids are affected by it too.
Exactly.
People don't realize that.
It's
Just
like they
because
gotta
they
pick
don't
a
say it,
side.
right, just because they don't say anything, it may be emotional things that they are dealing with. And sometimes some kids think that it's something that they've done, even when it's not. So people have to talk to their kids and find out how they're feeling and ask questions. A lot of times when you just ask kids questions, they'll talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So when did you become an AKA?
Just last year. No, we're in 2021, December 8th,
So you put
2019.
another accomplishment under your belt.
Yep.
What strives you to keep on going further?
My kids.
Mhm.
Like everything that I do, honestly, is for them. Because I want to leave a legacy. I want to be a great example for my kids, because like when I do events and stuff like that, the majority of the time my kids are with me, because I constantly want to put them in front of positive things that are going on, even like the things that I do with my sorority, because we're all about serving the community. I expose them to, because I want them to know it's not all about you, it's about helping other people. So I, you know, just try to do all that I can to show them positive things, but still, you know, let them know common sense, street smart, because they need to be aware of that too. But yeah, that's what keeps me going, because I'm not going to stop until I get to the point of where I want to be.
Exactly. So do you got any other seminars coming up or anything? How do people can reach you? Anything?
Yes, I do. Well, I have some events coming up with my nonprofit. So if they go to desiretoempower.org, all of our events are on the calendar there. I have some interviews that I'm doing about domestic violence, so they can follow me on social media. I'm at the only Eydie Robinson on all social media platforms. But really right now I've been focusing on my publishing company, which is doing very well. By the way, I never would have thought that I would have as many clients as I have right now, but just really focusing on that and trying to build this empire.
Yeah, I know if you ever write another book, you gotta come here, and because I know it's gonna be a lot of females gonna be commenting like, man, what do they need to do to start a book? Either get your book, read your book, and like I know this is gonna be a good feedback, and I like the energy that's around this, so I know that's for a fact. So you gotta come back.
Oh, I will. It's another book coming soon. It's growing.
Please come back. We need that good energy in here. And so other than that, I got one more question. Is what my final question is, what legacy do you want to leave to this world?
Oh man, that's a hard question. Um, the legacy that I want to leave with this world is really, I think, everything that just embodies me, which I am a firm believer of. My faith, first of all, God is in everything that I do. Um, and I don't apologize for that for no one, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. I know that I'm here for a purpose, and my thing is, I've always said that it's always a blessing to be a blessing to someone else. So with that, and then just trying to be positive in everything that you do. Everything is not going to be great all the time, but like I said, if you focus on positive things, more than likely that's what you're going to get back, because the universe and energy is strong. So that's what I would say. And just, telling people to live your dreams. You can do whatever you put your mind to, but you have to do the work. You can't just sit here and say that you want to do this and that and the other. And I tell people this. Right. Even like I just had a vision board party, and I tell people, you put all this stuff on the vision board, but if you ain't doing nothing, how you think you're going to accomplish this stuff?
Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, you have to do something. So that's another thing I tell people, you gotta hustle. No one else is going to do it for you. So you got to do it for yourself and your family.
So you got me. Do you want to leave us with a prayer, or?
Lord have mercy. God just keeps putting me in these positions. So I just recently was appointed chaplain of my chapter. I was like, Lord, okay. I don't know where you taking me, because my eye gonna ask me would I want to start a church. I was like, I believe in God and all of that, but me being in church,
start prophesizing in a minute.
All right, well, I'll end us in prayer. That's why I have no problem praying.
All right, come on, let's go.
All right, well, let's take it to the King. All right, Lord, we just come to you humbly, Lord God, just saying thank you. Thank you for the opportunity for us to converse today, for us to talk about you and the things that you have allowed me to accomplish, Lord God. Lord God, we just give you praise. The world is in a mess right now. We have so many things going on with COVID and what's going on with Trump, but we know at the end of the day, you're in control, and you know everything that happened before it happened. So we just trust that you will do whatever needs to be done for us to get back on the right path, Lord God. Lord God, we just bless you. Like I said, we thank you. You didn't have to wake us up this morning, Lord God. I thank you for this podcast, for you putting this on the minds of everyone who is involved with it, because it's here for a purpose. It's here for a reason, not only to provide people an opportunity to get their music out, Lord God, but then also to have the opportunity for people to come and share, like me today, their stories and things that they may have gone through. So Lord God, we just thank you. We honor you, and we praise you on this day. And we just ask that you bless us, keep us safe, and allow us to remember who you are and whose we are, because we are all your sons and daughters. And we just thank you, we honor and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. That's Eydie Robinson. Thank you for coming. And
thank you, Miss Eydie.
You're welcome.
And let's go to the new joint of the day.
My bro, you know this Vic Month film about to be official.
Yeah, let me do it one more time. Yeah, that shit sound hard as hell. Yeah. Ain't never run from a nigga. If he ever said I did, then he lying. Bitch ain't foreign, don't pay no mind. I don't need no help, I'ma say it every time. I don't need your help, I'ma do it just fine. Till the nigga sat and watch me grind. How you gon' overlook a nigga with a plan? To tell me get out the streets, I'm just saying. That's why I think I'm getting rich off ground. That's why I think I'm getting rich off scams. I don't know which one, but I know I am. To me, only thing that'll make sense. Told my little brother don't get in this shit. All this shit I did, I'm supposed to be rich. All this shit I did, I'm supposed to be up. Don't tell me I'ma get that with no plug. Don't tell me I'ma get that with no love. I was just down there and help me up. Now you want something, I don't get no fuck. When I get rich, they gon' say it's just luck. Real mob ties, better take a look around me. Feds tryna track us, but they can't find me. Nigga, you a fool if you think I'm signing. I'ma take off on these niggas like a pilot. Need no stylist. Look at my game, we lit, I'm honest. I don't give a fuck where we at, we a poppin'. I don't like to talk, I be moving in silence. Freak bitch moving her body. Nigga, you ain't fooling nobody. 10 racks on me and it's all profit. I'm the type of nigga trap at a college. I'm the type of nigga don't want the bitch if she ain't go to college. I ain't never ran from a nigga. If he ever said I did, then he lying. Bitch ain't foreign, don't pay no mind. I don't need no help, I'ma say it every time. I don't need your help, I'ma do it just fine. Till the nigga sat and watch me grind. How you gon' overlook a nigga with a plan? To tell me get out the streets, I'm just saying. That's why I think I'm getting rich off ground. That's why I think I'm getting rich off scams. I don't know which one, but I know I am. To me, only thing that'll make sense. Told my little brother don't get in this shit. All this shit I did, I'm supposed to.
All right, that was a new joint of the day, man. Another thanks to Eydie Robinson for coming out. That was a great interview. She dropped down a lot of jewels for a lot of females that's either went through that situation or seeing signs of going into that situation.
She really did. She has a really nice soul too. Like you could tell that she just off back naturally loving.
Yeah, real.
Without like, you know, like you being there in her presence, it's just the vibe that she gives.
Yeah. What's been going on this week?
You know, 21 Savage, DJ Mustard, Lil Yachty, OK Cyrus, all of them been joining on each other and stuff. I've been watching it on their Instagram stories.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they most definitely be dripping. And I didn't even know DJ Mustard. I didn't even know DJ Mustard was that funny. Like that man is freaking hilarious. Like the people, you know, the trolls that they be having in the comments or whatever. They was like, it was some girls like, yeah, DJ Mustard ain't even that cute, or calling him Cisco or something like that because he got that blonde hair now. And they called that man Cisco. Tell me why he went and found their pages, because some of them pages would be public, like open. He went, found their pages, screenshotted it, and put it in his story and got the flame in him. I was hollering. So some girl built like a tablet. It was another girl that was talking all stuff, and she was straight cockeyed. Like you can see it, like she literally looking like this. And he was like, oh, okay. Like got the yawning on her eyes and stuff. So I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to go to hell. I was dying.
That's crazy. I know I seen something earlier today. YF and Lucci. You tell me a little more details on that. I don't know. I ain't really see it.
Are you talking about with that murder case?
Yeah, they like you saying he wanted for murder.
Yeah, but I don't even know how really true that is. You know, they be making that stuff.
It was on the Atlanta ATL news or something like that. He was saying he's looking for him. It was a murder that was on December 2nd or something like that.
That's crazy. I'm gonna look more into that. But I had seen it, and I had seen it on the Shade Room too. You know, anything they post in the Shade Room, it don't be no lie.
Yeah, I think I seen mine on DJ Academic YouTube page.
Yeah. So, you know, anything the Shade Room post and stuff like that, I don't think, you know, that be real. Like, it don't be no lie to that. Not dealing with the Shade Room.
Yeah, that was earlier today. For real. Well, let's go to the number 4 video real fast.
Hey man, tell me why. What happened, bitch? Oh, dude.
What's his name? I know you ain't talking.
Dude.
For real?
Long story short, I told her, bro, we gotta be cool. Then he got up in his feelings, bucket paragraph 2. So me, you know, I peeped trying to see what I'm gonna do. Then I told him this ain't that, so nigga fucking move. Any nigga that I had, I can get him back. And if he say he in the field, then you know that's cap. 4 deep on the beat, and it's back to back. I'm screaming fuck the goofies, cause they all be rats. And I'm stepping on next till y'all show my respect. Can't no nigga play me, I'm 2 steps ahead. And yeah, I'm a dog, I ain't tryna be your friend. Talk a little loud, I'm like, fuck is you saying? I ain't gon' fake it, they pray I don't make it. That shit ain't cute, you a certified hater. My mama chuck B's, my daddy chuck C's. Both sides I'm welcome, fuck do you mean? Facts on the beat, this shit be a breeze. Got me, got Jay, got Brandon, the Drake. And a hoe wanna play 2-Face, that's fake. But you know I play it cool, ain't too much I gotta say. Slim little waist and a cute little face. Meet me again, that was back in the day. Gang, 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 that's what you claim. But when I see you in public, you was not with no gang. Why you be faking and why you be lying? You know you ain't with it, stop wasting your time. I gave you that nigga, he was already mine. Stop talking about me and start talking to God. I get real evil, you can see it in my eyes. Put it in park, then I put it in drive. I start off on lanes to get pushed to the side. When I stump in your face with this boot, don't cry.
I need a nigga to swim in it. Super wet water, this ocean, he live in it. And they call me Boujie, cause niggas be choosing for real. So you can't get your nigga back. He calling now, see, nah, it ain't none of that. We chasing money like yours for a running back. And when I'm done, ain't no coming back. Eat on this pussy like lunch, nigga, fuck a snack. My bitches be ready to go. Just hit my line up, let me know when y'all outside. This nigga in the backseat slow. Why would you bring a friend if he don't even match mine? Smoke up his weed, won't even leave till I get fried. Double hit him like it's mine. My friend said she ready to go. Whole time she finessed the man, she learned. Gang, gang, since Pipe Train.
She finessed his ass, you know what the fuck going on. This BranB on this motherfucker, huh?
All right, that was a number 4 video. She was just telling me about a busted challenge.
Yeah, the busted challenge. I be on Twitter. You know, they got that the song with Nelly, the Getting Hot in Her song.
The Hot in Her.
Yeah, and this girl, I think she was like a college student or something like that. And she the one who made the song and remixed the song or whatever. And she had like
something in the mirror or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I seen it on TikTok.
Oh yeah, you know, TikTok be having all the stuff on her. But you know, she had remixed the song or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she had like rapped it at like a, you know, when you go to the club and they be having like their little performances and stuff, she rapped it in the club. And nobody, like literally the audience, nobody knew the words, knew the song. It was just sitting there. Like, you know, who is this? Like basically like a St. Louis local rapper that be in the club. But you know, some of them here, everybody be jumping to their songs and stuff. I don't really, you know.
But she tried to perform it? Yeah,
she was performing it. She was performing it in the club.
Hold on, bring it back. I'm lost. This the busted challenge?
Yes, the girl who made the busted challenge.
And she tried to perform what?
No, it was her song. The girl who made the song, that added Nelly's song in there, and she remixed the song and made it her song.
Oh, see, I ain't heard the whole song, so I just heard.
Oh yeah, this a whole song she made the whole song.
Girl, I think my busted. That's all I.
Yeah. Yeah, she made the song. She a black girl too. And like I said, she was in the club rapping and didn't nobody sing. Everybody was just standing there. And basically she had made a tweet saying, here, everybody, y'all remember this night? Y'all was just standing there, you know, didn't vibe to my song and none of that. But now y'all doing a busted challenge. And she was basically saying like, you know, be a little patient and see where it could go. And I was like, oh, that's what's up though. She flexing a little bit.
I thought they just was trying to remix Nelly's song. So
she did remix it.
So she basically, is Nelly get the streams or she get the streams? Well, it's probably ain't licensed. He's still gonna get paid off there regardless.
Right. He still, you know, he still get paid overseas for dirty grammar. So
yeah. What else happened this week?
SZA made a Instagram, not SZA, Summer Walker. I freaking love Summer Walker. Yes. I love her. Everybody needs to leave her alone because they be talking all stuff. So she ain't got social anxiety. How you gonna tell that girl what she got? But anyway, she made a post about the Kardashians, basically saying that they trying to be black, but them hands don't match their face. So you know how they be like, have you ever looked at them like when they take their pictures and stuff, they always look bronze or like, you know, like they got some little melanin to them or something, but really they white.
I never paid attention to that though, but I know what you're saying. It's like a like they got suntanned or something like that.
Yeah, or they makeup be too dark to where they'll probably look black, you know.
Yeah.
And then they'll take a picture with their hands on their face and doing all this extra stuff, but their hands ain't even matching their face. So she was talking about that.
But they got like some beef or something?
Nah, they don't have beef. She was just basically saying like how whites want to be blacks so bad. Basically, like look at the Kardashians, and then they showed that picture or the Kardashians, or they had their makeup and stuff done, but they legs and their hands and stuff that match their face. You know what I'm saying? Because they get their makeup darker to look like they're African American.
Yeah, it ain't my name, so I don't know.
And I guess, you know, she got some backlash from that.
What they were saying?
That was probably like, I was reading the comments, and that was basically like, you know, like, wait.
Was she hating or something?
Yeah, some of them was agreeing, some of them was hating, and she was basically saying she didn't make that post to, you know what I'm saying, like, down the Kardashians. That's not what she was saying, and she wasn't trying to body shame and all of this other stuff, because then she got to talking about plastic surgery too. I don't know how they be trying to get the look.
Why a lot of people ain't talking about what's her name, Anna Marie?
Oh no, I know you mean Lori Harvey.
No. Anna Marie, I guess she went to jail for shooting her boyfriend in the head or something like that.
Wow, that's crazy. I heard about that.
Yeah, I seen it a while back. It's like probably like a week or two ago. She got locked up for shooting her boyfriend in the head or something. I guess he cheated on her or something like that. So I don't really know. I just stumbled past it on Facebook. I thought everybody knew. I just don't hear nobody talking about it. But
yeah, I didn't know about that one.
I gotta fact check that.
Yeah, I know about that. But I know about that Lori Harvey though. They talk about some. Yeah, I be trying to normalize Lori Harvey, but she ain't nothing but a hoe. Talk of it.
The Breakfast Club, the Breakfast Club was doing the do y'all rather Sierra praise or Lori Harvey?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm wishing on the Sierra prayer all day. I got my fingers crossed for that, baby, because if I run upon a Russell Wilson, oh, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. Baby, I'm gonna my man y'all to death. Okay. I'm like, I ain't gotta work because my man got 2 jobs. Like, that is gonna be me.
On that note, let's go to the number 3 video.
It was Tori. Tori shot me.
At night I won't pick up the phone. At night I'm just like, leave me alone. At night I'm getting right in my zone. I'm chilling. What the fuck you on? At night I gotta put my phone on DND. I'm probably ducked off. Don't fuck with me. And yeah, they faked out. They snaking me. I probably go buy a house. You faking me. At night I won't pick up the phone. At night I'm chillin' like, leave me alone. At night I'm getting right in my zone. I'm cool. I'm chillin'. Won't answer the phone. Screening calls left to right. I don't wanna hear no mess. They say they fake and act real phony. Might as well get undressed. Not disappear. Matter of fact, man, where the rest? I could tell you a story, but you never heard the end. You'll never forget. I'm sitting back, peeping all the fucking news. Niggas walking by, you know they clutching on they tools. Just look on me, I'm chillin'. Don't fuck with me, I'm cool. I learned of the hustle, make a triple double. Get it back, yeah, what's up with you? At night I won't pick up the phone. At night I'm just like, leave me alone. At night I'm getting right in my zone. I'm chillin'. What the fuck you want? At night I gotta put my phone on D&D. I'm probably ducked off. Don't fuck with me.
All right, that was the number 3 video. We were just talking about the Capitol building getting rushed in with the Trump supporters.
Yeah, like I was saying, that like their race stuff is real because there is no way that black people gonna be out there climbing buildings, sitting in offices, and all this other stuff. Mason police officers trying to fight like they would have got out a whole army gun to knock all us back at that point. But
I got the police arrests from when it happened, when they ran into the Capitol building. Compared to blacks, it's not even near close. Basically, when the Black Lives Matter came there, they had police with riot gear, rubber bullets, tear gas. They had everything, and they was overstaffed. And it seemed like when the Trump mob when they came in, they was understaffed. Couple of people, they beat up a couple of officers, and the officers are running from them.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
When the man was running up the steps and the officer was like, get back, but running. What are you running for, baby? You forgot you was the police.
Yeah, but they don't use the same. They don't use the same authority with
the white people. Hey, did you see that lady? That white lady, she kind of went viral or whatever. She was saying how the police maced her and stuff and wiping her face with a towel, but in the towel it was an onion.
Yeah, I seen it. It was a potato.
It wasn't no potato. It was an onion.
I thought it was a potato.
And she was wiping it across her face, trying to act like she crying.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah. It just ain't the same. It just ain't the same, and it show the America that they don't look at us the same. It's just that's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Somebody made a tweet and was like, "White people better not ever call black people monkeys again." The way they didn't climb the Capitol, I was hollering.
I see the videos. It was like an older person. They was climbing. I guess their legs gave out. They just
he was trying to grab his hand and pull him up, and he fell. Why they make a busted challenge out of that? That shit made a busted challenge out of that. It was a lady at first, like, looking or whatever like that, like doing it at first, and then she dropped down like to do the busted challenge, and then you seen the man falling from the building. I was crying.
Man, these people don't have no type of morals for themselves. They just always laughing about something.
Undefeated, I swear. Like, man.
What you think? We should go to the number 2 video, the new joint of the day.
Number 2.
Let's go to the number 2 video right now.
Come and show me what you was gonna do. Boy, don't fall in love when I put this motherfucker on you. Boy, you know that I'm gonna war when it comes to you. To you, I wanna have one night with you. We ain't got no time to fuss or fight, 'cause you know how to freak me right. I like the way you make me feel at night, but you know this is only our last time with you. We ain't got no time to fuss or fight, 'cause you know how to freak me right. I like the way you make me feel at night, but you know this is only gotta be real specific with me. You like me or the Hennessy. Look me in my eyes, but don't tell no lies. It's the Caribbean Sea. You say you got a girl, but yeah, the side B. Might be in love with her, but ranking guaranteed that I could turn you to a man fucking with me. Set it off, you like the movies, can't you see? No, I don't want your number, no. I ain't gotta give you mine, and it's getting real late outside. Better call your bride, 'cause it's going past 5. But I Low-key wanna make you mine, but you be playing with my heart and my mind. But I ain't really even on that type of time. Let's refresh and rewind and get ready, cause there's only one with you. We ain't got no time to fuss.
All right, that was a number 2 video. I feel that. I like that. It's time. We almost there. It's almost time to wrap it up, man. We appreciate everybody that came in. What else? You got some other topics?
What's your, what is your limit with people? Like, I seen this Facebook post or whatever. I'm just scrolling, and it was basically saying that, like, would y'all go behind y'all homeboy, y'all homegirl, and date one of their exes, or a person that they was talking to, either if they was really, really dealing with them or they not? Like, would you do it?
Say it one more time.
Okay,
so you saying like talk to like somebody ex?
Yeah, so say, or it don't even have to be an ex, just the person that they was entertaining at the time, and it didn't go anywhere, and they started to pursue you, like, hey, what's your number? And you knew that they talked to your homeboy or your homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you still do it? Would you still pursue that person?
So that my homeboy ex-girlfriend trying to pursue me, getting the numbers like that.
Yeah, like that. Or maybe it wasn't even an ex-girlfriend. Maybe it was just a girl that he was talking to.
See, look, I'm not entitled to answer this question. I'm married, happily married.
Okay, we know you happily married.
Long time ago.
We love Keisha. No, it's not nothing like that. Wait.
But I don't play those games. I don't play those games. I don't play those games. I don't feel like none of your homeboys should do that. If y'all tight, if y'all just was cool, I mean, shit, it wasn't like that. Wasn't like your brother. So if it's like somebody that I call like this is my partner, he had my baby shower and all this other stuff. Nah, that's off limit. That's like talking to your homeboy's sister. Like, yeah, that's supposed to be like your little sister. You feel me? And I feel like
but people do that though. People should be talking to their homeboy sisters, and then they'll go to them and be like, "Hey, is it okay if I talk to your sister?" You know what I'm saying? Like that.
You seen what Tony did?
Dude, shut up.
Like Tony. And they was married.
Why would you even say that?
Wait, I don't know. I mean, y'all get in the comments and let us know. I don't really know. So
I mean, me personally, I wouldn't do it either. And it's just because it don't even matter if I fuck with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Just me personally, just because I knew who you was talking to, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. Like I'd be cool on a lot of that. Like, no. I be needing my niggas to be low key, don't nobody know them, don't be out in a way, all the clubs. I need him to be like not social media craze. Like that's how I need him to be. If I'm gonna be dealing with him.
Well, let's go to the second new joint of the day. Let's get to it.
Love. What you doing? Nothing in the studio. Dude, I know we're dressing about patterns and colors. But that's what they want to hear, what I'm supposed to tell them. They're doing some real damn you.
Sometimes I talk to God, I wonder if he listening. They like his hands keep moving, why he keep fidgeting? Cause I be itching for a kill, yeah, I be wishing it. Close my eyes, I see Jamie, yeah, I'm missing him. And I done did a lot, and plus I seen some things too. Don't really speak about my life, well here's a clear view. At 13, I was molded to this thing I am. I had an older brother, I tried to be street as him. Started toting a lot of guns, trying to hang with them. Build a name with them, yelling gang with them. A couple fights broke out, yeah, that was basic shit. Run-ins with the laws, that was racist shit. Brother got tired of asking for it, he started taking shit. Drive a stolen car for days like we paid for it. Another shootout with the op, look why I paid for it. Another face up on the shirt, I can't get saved from this. Shake my head when I think of all the shit we did. Like why we thinking like that, and we was only kids. Ain't like we wanna live this way, this how we had to live. Ain't like we wanna feel this way, this how we had to feel. And I ain't want wanna sell this J, this how I had the meal. And I ain't wanna tote this Drake, but shit, we had to kill. And he ain't wanna take the case, so shit, he had to squeal. And free Lil Sammy out the case, cause he ain't got a bail. And I can hold my own weight, no, I don't need a scale. Move my mama out the hood soon as I sign the deal. Give her money every day for all the time she yell. Did some shit on Tennessee, so I look out for sale. Overthinking, man, I swear I be losing my mind. Mama said it's cause I'm blessed in the head of my time. Daddy told me keep it focused and stick to the rhymes. Beast mode gone doing 12, that's some hell of a time. Put my all in what I got, blood, sweat, and tears. Crazy how I'm beefing with niggas that I knew for years. Zeno been gone for like 5, still feel weird. Jamie been gone for like 4, and it still tears. First love wasn't down, so I let her go.
It came to that day. I know. It's one of them sad ones. We gotta close it out. Again, I want to thank our special guest, Eydie Robinson, for coming in and blessing us with a lot of jewels and a lot of stuff that was on her timeline that she really never shared, and she shared it for this podcast, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. She dropped a lot of stuff, and we thank her for that. Anything you want to add to it?
No, but just come on back to the wildlife.
Yeah, I can't wait till she dropped that next book, man. And all her books, we'll have our website in the description if y'all want to go check it out.
I'm gonna go ahead and get that affirmations book.
Yeah. And she said some key things with the vision board, because a lot of people say just because you look at it and see it every day, that don't mean it's gonna come to you. You gotta actually do the work. Just like if they said if you put a car on there, you gotta go out there and test drive that car, feel yourself in that car and stuff like that. So that was a gem right there. And other than that, it's another week. We got another guest. I don't know if you want me to let it be known yet because of the situation, but
we gonna save it.
But my homie Rock, he gonna be in the building, man. You know, and I ain't gonna really get too deep in there until we get him on here and stuff like that. But yeah, my brother gonna be on here. So other than that, man, thank y'all for tuning in. And keep watching. We got more stuff coming in. All right, this is the #1 video. All right, BB.
Welcome. Come back to the wildlife.
This message lasts 2 minutes. This is for Rachel, you big fat white nasty smelling fat bitch. Why you took me out the trouble with your trifling dirty white racist ass big fat bitch, umpa body ass bitch. I'm coming up there.
Ain't you that same bitch? Ain't you that same
bitch? Don't even call police today,
Ain't you that same bitch that be out here fucking some money? Tell them how you strip at the club and your pussy defunct. Ain't you that same bitch that always pretend to be bougie, but you a ratchet ass bitch that's always popping your cooch? You out here double dealing, floozy ass bitch, you too loose. You better tighten up cause all your cookies crumbling, boo. Ain't you that same bitch? Ain't you that same bitch? Ain't you that same bitch? Ain't you that same bitch that let my peoples run the train, but shady all up in your dick gobble, stop saying my name. And all you niggas fucking with these trifling ass hood rats. She like when dick get pulled out, I like when glass get pulled back. But I'm talking about any bitch that's feeling curious. Fucking old man for money, bitch, are you serious? And I used to break my back for hoes who wouldn't bust me. Now I'm big and back down, feet up living luxury. And acting tough gon' get you knocked down. Same bitch who bought Burnett the guns can't even talk now. I'm a pretty hood bitch, ain't scared to do a walk down. Ride through the opposite, jamming with the top down. And his heads up for any bitch who wanna run with me. I be jamming everywhere, bitch know not to touch me. Putting dick before my gang members, I can never. All my bitches steps going hard in any weather. Salt and pepper, stupid bitch. Ain't you that same bitch that be out here fucking some money? Tell them how you strip at the club and your pussy be funky. Ain't you that same bitch that always pretend to be bougie, but you a ratchet ass bitch that's always popping your cooch? You out here double dealing, floozy ass bitch, you too loose. You better tighten up cause all your cookies crumbling, boo. Ain't you that same bitch? Ain't you that same bitch? Ain't you that same bitch? Ain't you that same bitch that fucked the nigga after I fucked him? How my pussy taste, he used to eat it for supper. All my old friends was either hoes or runners. Every last bitch used to fuck for some money. Bitch then got a baby and don't know who to fuck. The other hoe burn don't wanna go to
Christian never did that in honor. And now we ain't ducking shit, we always with the drama. Got all it back up at Christian never did that in honor. And now we ain't ducking shit, we always with the drama.
Ain't you that same bitch that be out here fucking for money? Tell them how you strip at the club and your pussy defunct. Ain't you that same